Gifty. Today I'm going to show you how I sewed this satin bonnet for myself. From the outside it's in Ankara cotton, but from the inside it's satin. It's one of my old satin headscarves that I had, and you know, these days when you wrap your hair, sometimes by the time you wake up the scarf is gone. So I'm going to turn around and show you. So this is how it turned out. I'm super happy with it. And I know this is not a sewing channel, but it's hair related. So I thought, why not? You don't have Ankara, just use two of your head wraps and put them together. Sorry, two of your satin scarves. Then use that for your satin bonnet. So you can turn it into both sides and wear them. So that this is the other side when you turn it around. And this is the side that I'm using. So if you're interested, definitely stay tuned and watch the entire video. I'm using a radius of 13 inches. I think this is a perfect size, and I've just folded the cloth into 4. I'll be demonstrating that with my satin scarf. And the 13 inches is the same as 33 centimeters. So in case you don't have an inch measurement and you're using centimeters, it's 33. So I'm just going to mark it, put the 13 inches at the edge of the cloth, and then just mark some sort of radius around the folded cloth. But I'll be demonstrating that again. So I'm just going to cut it out, and that would make the perfect circle. So as you can see, this circle looks perfect, and I'll be doing the same thing with the satin scarf. So I make sure I take both edges, put them together accurately, fold them once, and then fold it again. So I'll be having a quarter, and I'm now going to straighten it out and place the already cut version of my Ankara cloth on the satin scarf, making sure that the openings are on the same sides, and then I'm going to cut that out. I would advise to pin these two together because it was a little bit difficult cutting it out accurately, as you can see. So pin it down and it's going to be much more easier for you. So as you can see, this is also a perfect circle of the same size. So what I'm doing right now is to place right sides together and then pin them so that the wrong side is the one which is now outside facing me, and the right sides of the cloth is what is inside. And I'm going to take a measurement of 2 centimeters and sew it all around. First of all, I've already pinned both together, and I'm going to leave an opening because at the end of the sewing we'll be turning it around to have the right sides out, and this opening is going to serve for the elastic to pass through. So now I'm just going to sew it all around the edge, and you can sew it with an allowance that you prefer, but don't forget to leave the opening, because now this is the opening where I'll be turning the whole material around. So as you can see, the edges are still folded in, so I'm going to iron that to make it nice and flat and neat, so that we would have the maximum size of the entire cloth. So this is how it looks like now. It's perfectly pressed and you can still see the shape of the entire circle. So I'm going to measure the circumference of my head, and then I'm going to use the same length for the elastic that I'll be using, which will be holding the bonnet together. So I've taken the same length for the elastic with a little bit of allowance, like 2 centimeters allowance, so that I can overlap both elastics at the end and then stitch that together. So I'm going to take the size or the width of this elastic and then make sure I make a markation all around the circle. The elastic has it's about 1 inch broad, and I'm going to make like an allowance of 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to sew that all around. Now when you are sewing it this time, you don't have to leave an opening. You can sew it and close it because that's where the elastic will be going through. So I'm just marking it all around so that the elastic would have enough space. So now I've already sewn it all round. Because this is the right side, you have to later make sure that you wipe the chalk from the cloth, otherwise maybe it would be visible. So I'm just going to take a safety pin and then pass that through the elastic and then run that through so that the elastic will be in the bonnet. So as you can see, this is very, very easy. We are almost done. Just have to pass the elastic through, make sure it comes out at the other side, pin the other side down so that it doesn't slip through. And all I'm going to do is just overlap this elastic and then put on some stitches, just maybe 2 or 3 lines of stitches so that it will hold it together, and then you can slip it through, and then you can also close the opening. So I've just closed the opening of the bonnet, and actually we are done. So I'm just slipping the elastic through it to make sure it is well distributed, and I'm going to make sure it fits. So yeah, that's it. So this took me about 20 minutes, maybe a little bit less. I hope you enjoyed watching. As you can see, it does take a little bit of time, but once you have it, you have it. So yeah, this is it again. Let me give you another 360. If you enjoyed this video, just leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow me on Instagram at FenityWoman. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.